Ramey Dawoud. Yeah. It's another one of those. You know? Yeah, it's one of those. Reflection.
This one is for those that suffer, that smile on the outside and cry undercover. Just when you thought life couldn't get any tougher, just when you thought life couldn't get any rougher. Keep strong and don't fumble, go along and stay humble. Speak up and don't mumble, legends let's rumble. Strong, don't fumble, along, stay humble. Up, don't mumble, living legends let's rumble. This for all the youngins out there, just feeling what I'm feeling. Drug dealing, urban healing, stealing and cap filling. Before you jump to conclusions, I don't condone it, I'm just feeling rhymes out on canvas in the city of Kansas while the cannabis is drilling. Hole in my brain, cause my soul is in pain. I keep on dozing again, keep the entertained. The contact too much me to contain. I'm going insane, unstable and unmaintained. Together with the pain, I'm trying to paint a picture clean. When it ain't so that it'll get you. What's going on, everybody? This is Ramey Dawoud. I'm sitting here with Matt Diamond, and I'm representing a lot of places actually. Kansas City, Sudan, Nubia, and people all across the African continent. And this is Chasers. Enjoy.
Alright, so Chasers is about, entrepreneurship, pursuing your own path.
Right.
Not looking for a script, but looking, to develop your own. I don't know if you heard this a lot growing up, but I know growing up there was always the cliche saying, about getting a real job or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
So what I want to know is what happened with you in your life that led you astray from this idea of a real job.
Yeah. Well, I definitely did hear that. Growing up as a Sudanese, whether it was the first part of my childhood, early childhood in Egypt, or after we came to the United States, part of Sudanese culture is that education is very important. And it's always stressed, go to school, go to college, do this, do that. And my parents did want me to do that as well, but they were also very understanding when I decided that maybe that's not the route that I wanted to take, even as far as getting a job, a job. I believe that you should do what you love, because no matter what job you end up getting, even if you make good money, if it's not something that you're passionate about, man, you can only stick with it for so long. You don't have the passion to it, you're not going to be able to give it 100%. And I can honestly say that I'm doing what I love, whether it's music or acting. It's my passion, and I love every part of it. And it's what I want to do with my life. And I can affect a lot of people around me through that. And my family was very understanding when I decided that's what I wanted to do with my life. So I'm thankful for that.
So they really had your back from the jump? They never questioned it? Or?
No, from the beginning. I mean, in the beginning, I don't think they knew that, they didn't think that I was serious about it. They might have thought that, he just wants to record some songs or whatever. I mean, I was a teenager, and they supported me, but little by little, they realized that this is something that I wanted to do. And once I started getting somewhat successful in it, that, they had no option but to support me.
So you just said when you started getting successful in it, the next section is the word I presented every time is the audacity. Like, what gives you the audacity to think that this is worth your time? You know what I mean? That you can really make it into a viable solution to whatever answers you're looking to survive.
Yeah.
What gives you the audacity? At what point did you realize that this thing could work?
When you start getting random messages from people from all over the world on your Facebooks or Twitters or Instagrams, and people thanking you for saying, they say, I listen to your song and thanks for speaking for me, or I can relate to that and it makes me feel better as a person. Man, to me, that's mission accomplished, It's hard to describe that feeling, knowing that a piece of art that I created, words that I wrote and I spoke, someone halfway around the world can relate to that, and it might get them through whatever trouble they're going through. And that's a wonderful feeling. I don't think that feeling can be, for me at least. I can't recreate. I don't think there's any other way that I can get that feeling except through this art form, especially through my music. you know, and I love every part of that. Yeah.
Have you faced any major obstacles? You know, I mean, you've traveled from Kansas City to the East Coast a lot, apparently, right? And then you've been back to Sudan a lot, right? Since you've been here, what's some of the obstacles you faced, artistically or in the travel, or?
It's the same obstacles that I face now. You know, my biggest audience and people, everybody knows this, are Sudanese people. Not just Sudanese people in Sudan, but here in the U.S. or wherever there are in the world. That's my biggest audience, and you know, hip-hop music specifically is not very popular in Sudan. It's popular amongst the youth, but you know, in Sudanese culture, quote unquote, it hasn't been accepted yet, I would say. And for me to be a hip-hop artist, when a lot of people hear about me, they just think, oh, he's a singer. You know, when you say, even as a hip-hop artist in Sudan, they don't necessarily call you a rapper, they just call you a singer or a hip-hop singer, you know what I mean? And so when I tell people I'm a singer, they assume that I sing, you know, like maybe an R&B or a soul singer or whatever. But when I tell them I'm a hip-hop artist, you can kind of feel this like, oh, you know what I mean? And until they actually hear my music or understand what I'm about, have a conversation with me, and know the vision that I have and the mission that I'm going after, sometimes it's difficult for people to accept me as an artist. So that's an obstacle that I still face today.
What's the big vision for yourself as an artist? Aside from all the obstacles, all that aside, like, where do you see yourself projecting yourself, or you know, doing? Is it gonna be just music, or are there other outlets and avenues that you're gonna pursue?
Definitely, there's a lot of different avenues that I want to go through, man. Not just music, and I've expanded even from music. I've gone into acting, and I want to get into animation. That's something that I'm messing around with. You know, I have so many ideas, man, and I believe that's possible through being open-minded and working with different people. Networking is something big for me, because there's countless people out there, talented individuals that may not just have the same opportunities that I got, you know, and there's people that can help me, and there's people that I can help, and it's all about networking. But I definitely want to expand through art. You know, even my music, when I'm writing music, I don't just I don't look at it as when I listen to music, I see music. You know what I mean? When I listen to a song, I don't want to just hear it. I want to see the imagery. You know. So I believe that you can really connect emotionally with people, and through all different types of art. And I'm much more open now maybe than I was when I first started into, you know, getting involved in different areas of that.
What was it that made you open up to different avenues that you hadn't considered before? Growing up,
you know, when I first started, of course, whatever you're into when you first start, especially if you're just you know, a teenager. When I first started making music, when I started taking music seriously, I would say I was probably like 14 or 15, and I only knew so much about music, you know, and I thought, okay, I limited myself because I thought, okay, I'm just gonna be rapping. This is what I want to do. Leave me alone, you know. But in time, you realize that you're holding yourself back. You don't know what you're missing unless you're open. You're a lot more open, and you meet different people that are maybe not in your field, in a different field. And I learned from that. I learned through the mistakes that I made, and I'm still thankful for them, because until you make the mistakes, you don't necessarily know that you're making a mistake most of the time. Yeah.
Well, you said something earlier about something about the process.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that?
The music process?
No, just about the importance of the process or the journey.
Oh yeah. You know, we all go through struggles, you know, as artists. Whether it's financial struggle, whether it's getting your name out there, whether it's being accepted by your family or whatever. And I love every part of it, man, because at the end of the day, you know, life is about the journey, not the destination. You know what I mean? Because
if you could just snap your fingers and end up being where you see yourself, dreams come true, yeah, that's cool and all, but you gotta embrace the journey, man. And I love every part of the journey, even the struggle. You know, I'll wake up some days and I'm so stressed out, man, and I just want to be like, you almost want to give up at times. You just want to just go get a job, you know what I mean, and say this is my life. But you know, you reflect and you sit back and you realize that, you know, this is a part of the journey, and I'm thankful and grateful for every single part of the journey, even the struggle.